This is the last in our series of videos where we look at the different types of test doubles we can use in Java. In this video, we're going to look at the final one, which is fakes. If you haven't seen the previous videos, the first one was on dummies and stubs, the second one was on spies, and the third one was on mocks. If you haven't watched those, I recommend you watch those before you watch this video. I'll add some links over here. In this one, we're going to look at fakes. A fake is a small, not fully functioning version of the code you are creating a test double of. Hi, I'm Mark Bradley, and welcome to Testing All the Things, a screencast in which we use live coding to demonstrate different types of testing tools and techniques. In this video, we're going to replace the mock we created last time for the random numbers generator with a fake random numbers generator. Let's look at the code. In the previous video, we completed the functionality of our driving license number generator. But what I want to show you in this one is how we can use something that's beyond a mock. We can use a fake to create a test double. Now, a fake is a smaller and less complicated implementation of the actual implementation you would use during production runs of your code. And today what we're going to do is we're going to create a fake of our random numbers generator. Let's do that now. So we're going to create a new class. We're going to call it fake random numbers generator. Okay. So this needs to implement the interface. In the previous video, we created a mock. Let's have a quick look at that. This gave us some additional functionality on top of the interface that allowed us to set the expected response for the given number. So when it was called with 4, we could say it would return this. When it was returned with 5, it would return this. That's one way of doing this, but also what we're going to do today is we're going to create a fake. So this is a simplified implementation of what would be used in production. It also should still enable us to have a known response, because this is a test double, so we still need to have confidence we can use it and our tests will always pass, and it will return a definite response for a given integer given for the count. So we can't start randomly generating numbers, but what we do know is we need to return a string of numbers that is the length of the given count. So how can we do this? If we can say the string we want to return will always be string of zeros. So if you ask for 4, you'll get 4 zeros. If you ask for 10, you'll get 10 zeros. If you ask for 1, you'll get 1 0. So to do that, we could do something like we could have string rand equals empty string, and then we can just use a for loop, say, just simplify it. So for I is less than count, rand plus equals 0. And then we can return the rand. Okay, so this is a much more simplified version of what the actual implementation would look like. In fact, probably the only difference here would be, instead of being hard-coded 0, it would be randomly selecting a number between 0 and 9. So if we do that, so we've got this fake now, let's play with it in our test. Here we go. We'll go to our first test that uses it. this expects it to be 4. So we can comment this out, and we can say that so we can go back, so we can say random numbers generator, generator equals new fake random numbers generator. So we know we're asking for 4 random digits on the end, so we should get 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's see if that works. And it does. So we can now get rid of that. Made our code a lot tidier. And we'll copy this line. Put it in here. Okay, so instead of 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, it will be 4. Oh, I've lost count. So instead of that, so it'll be 5 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here it should be 6 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Run that. And that's it. So we can remove these lines. So we've now replaced our mock random numbers generator with a fake random numbers generator. This was a really nice example of a fake. Fakes are also really useful for creating test doubles of things where you need to hold some kind of a state, maybe. So say you are testing something that adds things to a basket, and the basket is your test double. What you might do is, that basket in real life might be some kind of database or some other API you're talking to. For your test double, what you could do is you could create something that just held the items you added to the basket in an array or in memory in some way or in a file locally. So you can create something that enables you to add to that basket and keep track of the number of items and things as the way you're going to use it without having to go outside of your own code base to something else. So that's another really good example of fakes. I tend to use fakes when, for things like baskets and things like that, when trying to configure a mock for it becomes too complicated, when you're making lots of different calls to that function, to that code under test. It's also really useful for kind of an end-to-end test or more of a system level test where you might be making a number of calls into an API and you want that persistence of that thing that you don't have that API, without having to spin up that other API to test against. That's another really good example of a fake. I hope you found this short video on fakes really useful, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you for watching this episode of Testing All the Things. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please rate and review the video and subscribe to the channel. If you did not and you have any feedback, please leave a comment in the comment section of the video or contact me on Twitter @Bradle.